Okay.
3:30 on CBS. College Game Day is going to be in town. Friend of the show, Jenny Dell and CBS will be in town.
Yeah.
It is a matchup of two top 10 teams that statistically, Dan, are very similar. Very similar so far. We also have two lunatic coaches, which is probably my favorite part of this matchup as a whole.
Yeah. Google me.
We've got Indiana on the road at your Oregon Ducks. Oregon favored by 7.5 at home. So look, I posted a screen grab out on Twitter of this week's games. And somebody responded by saying that this was a fake top 10 matchup. I'm assuming that's more of a dig at Indiana than Oregon. Okay. But alas, let me ask it to you this way.
Okay.
Tough overtime win for Oregon 2 weeks ago now on the road in Happy Valley. We were there.
Yes.
Since then, Penn State falls on its face, loses at UCLA a week ago. Now they've dropped out of the top 25. We talked about that a couple of minutes ago. Because of what we saw go down with Penn State last week, does that make you any less confident in the Oregon Ducks? Being so...
Yeah, Oregon out of the top 25.
No.
Yeah.
Being so that Oregon's signature win may have come against a team that, in reality, may not be that good.
Okay. Or you can add about 75 IQ points and say Oregon beat Penn State twice. It's your choice. It's anybody's choice. If you want to think
marketplace of ideas, Dan. It's a
marketplace
marketplace of ideas.
Everybody has that opportunity to choose.
I know how I feel.
Sure.
I'm asking how you feel as an Oregon alum.
Yeah. Oregon beat Penn State twice. So, how do I feel? I don't discount that win at all. I was there. The environment was crazy. We're going to see a lot of those dudes on that Penn State defense get drafted. We're going to see Drew Aller start a stellar podcast in a few years. I just am of the mind that Oregon is really, really good, and they're playing at home with a week off. And I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is a fake top 10 matchup, because I think the best of Indiana can beat a lot of teams and win a lot of games. But I think Oregon is more solidified. I think this sport, more than basically many other sports, is such a talent thing. And I don't know which players, like Indiana's got a very good corner in Pons. But who's starting for this Oregon team? Like, who is legitimately starting? Like, I think their linebackers are good, but I just think Oregon is better at like 20 of 22
Did I see that Dante
Moore's
been sacked only once this year?
Dante Moore, I believe, has only been sacked once, and it was like a free rusher coming, like the right tackle. It was, I don't know if it was a miscommunication thing, but yes, it was a free rush against maybe Oklahoma State, something early. So I think Indiana's good. I just think Oregon's excellent. And I think Autzen's a big deal. I think what Indiana hasn't done against basically all of the very much legit defenses that they faced, you go back last year and this year, they needed every second to beat Iowa on the road, and they needed Iowa's quarterback to get hurt and pick off Iowa's backup quarterback to seal things. I just think away from Bloomington, they are also like essentially traveling across the country, Indiana, in this matchup. It's not like a body clock game in the same way that other Big Ten matchups are, but they are traveling. And so I just don't think they have it for 4 quarters against this Oregon team. I think there's just too much speed. I think Dante Moore is too good. I did not come all that impressed with Fernando Mendoza against Iowa. I think the best of him is excellent, but I think he's like 3rd tier national quarterback, not Heisman contender. And ready to eat my words if I'm wrong. Indiana's going to win a ton of games this year. I think Oregon's just clearly better. And so I have this as like 38-20 Ducks.
I've got 38-24 Ducks. We tend to agree.
Yeah.
And I also agree on the point that Indiana's legit.
Indiana's
it's not a feel-good story. They have a top 10 offense and defense so far, based on statistics.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want about Fernando Mendoza. 16 touchdowns, 1 interception. He has played very, very well. He's also played in Autzen before. He played as a true freshman when he was over with Cal. Could that help him here? Who knows? It's going to be loud. The Autzen Zoo is a thing. It's a tough place to play. And I tend to favor Oregon as well, but he's got that experience. I also like their defense. Sure. Their defense has been very opportunistic. They lead the nation in forcing interceptions. They rank third in turnover margin. So this is a very good team. There's a lot to like about Indiana. I certainly think they have the talent to hang around for some period of time. I just don't think 4 quarters. And so the game that I am envisioning here is one that is sort of close for a while. And we are in pins and needles late in the 4th quarter, wondering if a late touchdown is going to come and give them a backdoor cover.
The number has come down, right? It opened double digits and it's come down to 7-8 points.
So I could see this one as 38-24. Indiana with the ball late. If they score, they're going to screw over a lot of bettors. We have seen situations like that on a couple of occasions so far. In fact, Fernando Mendoza apologized to bettors 2 weeks ago because of what went down in their game against Iowa with the safety.
The safety. Yeah.
So, yeah, I am with you. I tend to agree that Oregon is just better across the board. And I think they will be able to assert their will at home in Autzen against a team in Indiana that is very, very good and very, very solid. But to the point, nobody on Indiana, almost to a man, is going to make that starting roster for Oregon. So 38-24 is my final. I'm ready to eat my words if I am wrong on this one, but I did see Oregon go into Penn State, which, say whatever you want about the Nittany Lions, but to win in that setting is mind-blowing. You can't imagine how loud it was there.
Yeah. And the only teams that are truly able to do that in those big games against Penn State are all of them. So
I see we've gotten now into our Penn State joke mode, which is fine. They lost to UCLA.
Hold on. Was that not a fact? I'm sorry. Does James Franklin win that game ever?
How dare you? How dare you disperse that?
I don't know.
James Franklin.
I'll go look back and see how many of those, top 10 matchups James Franklin.
You could send that one off to the Penn State or the Solid Verbal Research Department on Penn State. But
that's true. The crack staff. Yeah, I think Oregon's better. I think they have the edge at quarterback. I think they have the edge at coordinators and coach. I think the fact that they're playing at Autzen Stadium, and once again, to bookend things, Indiana against these top playoff caliber teams, right? They scored 3 points last season until the final 2 minutes against Notre Dame. Was that what it was? They scored 20 points, I think 3 points in the second half against a Michigan team that had no offense last year. They won that game. Better to win those games than to lose, absolutely. Couldn't do much on offense, if at all, against Ohio State last year. And needed every second to get to the, whatever it was, 20 points, 17 points against Iowa this year on the road. I just think there's a ceiling. The ceiling is probably 10-2 and super impressive, but losing to teams who are able to match up better than most. And there's always been that Big Ten team. For a long time, that was Wisconsin. Maybe it was Penn State, taking care of business against the lesser and then just not quite being there against the top flight teams. But I don't know. I think Oregon has its act together. They're playing at home. I think there are too many weapons on this offense for Indiana to keep up with, and the playmakers on defense, I think, are going to give Oregon some short fields.
Man, if this point spread comes down to 7, if it goes down to 7, that's lock of the week territory right there.
Wow.
Which is bad news for you.
And game day is going to be there.
Very bad news for you.
I know.
If I can dispel that concern of a backdoor cover,
yeah,
I think they win by 2 scores. I feel pretty confident in that.
Okay.